All right, good evening, everyone. Hopefully it's all working out the way it needs to be as we get set to rock and roll here for tonight. All right, so that's working. Okay, so hopefully we got this situated. Fingers crossed it's working. I'll have to update some things later, as it just did not want to update here before the stream. So going down here into the next corner here, we see them coming around here with warm-ups right now at Watkins Glen. David Duncan, we got a minute left here. Chase Matsko in the number 26. Mark Nelson here in the 86. Jacob Cotterman in the 048. We head on down through here, working well. All right, here we go. Hopefully this is sounding okay. We'll check it here on my end. We get set and ready to rock and roll here tonight. I'll double check the other streams here and make sure we got things the way they need to. Make sure we're not putting too many things out there. It looks like we are okay. I'll double check the other. Yeah, we're looking good. Sounding good. We head up and down through off of the start down here towards corner number 1. Start lights are out. Here will be your starting grid if I can get it to come up here quickly. Got a nice round of field here tonight. Mark Nelson out there in front. Ched Cotterman there second. Mike Zacher there third. Brian Scottport. Matt Red Mars there in fifth. Justin Shoemate there sixth. Steven Subsader there in seventh. Jacob Cotterman there in eighth. Chase Matsko ninth. Jacob Wilson there 10th. Jody Nelson there in 11th. With Ron Matthews there in 12th. 13th is going to be David Duncan. 14th going to Donovan Hodge, and where he's starting. Graham Connolly starting 15th. Robert Howard 16th. Jay Davis 17th. Dan Brassington there 18th. Landon Stuckey there in 19th. Jamie Mosley there 20th. Ryan Peters there 21st. And Joseph Spillman starting 22nd. That is your starting grid here tonight. If it would only show up there on stream, I'm noticing it's not. Let's see if we can remedy that situation here. As we know that it likes to cause some issues. Come on now, where'd the mouse go? Gosh. As we head on out through here, You see them coming down through the boot. Still trying to get us this worked out here. Got a couple bugs that we're working with. The SDK is not coming to life. There we go. Now we got it. Green flag's out. Here we go. Start lights are down and away. Down here across the start finish line, Jed Carterman getting a great start out there out front. Down here in the corner number 1 they go. Mark Nelson getting out there to an early lead now as they come there off the corner. Great job. Great field here tonight. I'm happy to see such a great field of GT3 drivers. Now we head on down through here, up and across. These drivers really putting on a show there. You see Jacob Wilson. And we got a battle here back with Brian Scott for about 7th and 8th. As him and looks like Jacob Carterman there in the 048. Carterman, yeah, that's the 85 there. Brian Scott with 69 of Zubzader. Hey, driver, bring it on down through here, out of the next corner. Heading down here into the top of the boot. No, looks like somebody ended up coming a little hard down there. Coming down here through the toe. Heading back up here through the bottom of the boot now. Heading towards the heel. Up off the hill they come. Great job here for these drivers so far here tonight. Sometimes you'll have an issue here with it starting out, but we didn't really have that here tonight, which is great to see. Now we watch them come down through here out of corner number 1, and we're coming down here to the penultimate and then into the final corner. David Duncan there in the 18. You see the 56 there of Jody Nielsen. Jacob Wilson there in the 28. A few cars ahead. They're coming up here through the S's. Heading on down the backstretch to the bus stop. Spillman is showcasing as out. So is Connolly. Oh, no, there's Spillman. Okay. So Connolly is out. Spillman clear back here at the back. Nelson is up here in the lead. So again, don't pay attention to the scoreboard saying who's out and who's not, as we know that it's not all true. I haven't figured out why it does that or how to fix that. And head on back out through here off of the boot down here in the penultimate. And down here into that final corner. And Mark Nelson is leading the way out front there, slowly being chased down by Jed Cotterman. Cotterman doing a great job in that Mustang here tonight. And that's the one thing I noticed. Chase Matchko's not running Mustang tonight, and he's sitting back here in 14th. I always thought he would have brought the Mustang out since he's had great luck with the Mustang. But he decided to bring the Porsche out and is back here sitting in about 14th. Jay Davis is out here in a Corvette running in the 13th position. As GT3 cars take the track here tonight, Mike Zacher here in third. And we are going to try to get a better description down in the for the videos. And you got to kind of look for what you're looking for. Little redesign down below. Mike Zacher there third, Justin Shoemate there fourth, Matt Mars fifth. So with that, if you're looking for information on a link, the links will be there for you to take you to the place to find information on a league. Like tonight, we got FMA. It'll take you to their website. They are an invite-only league right now. For Roughneck, we got an invite link there for you to join their Discord and learn more about them. For the Coast to Coast on Thursday nights, we got a link to their website. Cannonball on Friday night, there's a link for you to get more information there as well. Those are the 4 leagues we're currently broadcasting here at Klinger Farm TV. Jed Cotterman here in second. Mike Zacher there in third. Justin Shoemate chasing down Zacher here as we come through the backstretch up here towards the bus stop. Once they come out of the S, the 213 having issues. That's Stuckey. Stuckey's down there against the outside wall. Spun around there. Now he's going to get it spun around facing the right way. So Stuckey now back at the back of the pack. And watch here, Ron Matthews. There in 12th. They come down into the boot, heading down here towards the toe. Head on up through here, out of the boot now. They work around the hill as you're watching Ron Matthews. Jake Matsko there in 13th tonight in that Porsche. Following there behind Jay Davis. "45 minutes the distance here tonight. Down around here, out through the S's, heading onto the backstretch, heading towards the bus stop. Mark Nelson as your leader, looking there at Matt Mars in that mellow yellow machine. Heading into the bus stop right now. We got David Duncan back here as you're on board with him out of San Jose. Spanish Sport for Brian Scott. A driver come back down into the boot. Making great time here tonight. These drivers getting around here in about a minute 45 here tonight. You see a couple going side by side, and they work down there towards the toe. Others are single file. There's you watch David Duncan. Brian Scott back there in 6th. Now we see Spillman is not out. He is still on the racetrack. I thought I saw his number out there. Stuckey, well, maybe not. We'll see here. We'll see if, looks like Stuckey is out for sure. Nope, there's Stuckey, which means Spillman's out there as well. So they're both out there. The only one that is confirmed out, the only one confirmed out is Connolly. So we see the 41 coming back on board there. There's the 238. Ron Matthews and the 654 disappeared off the map, but I know he's there. And he's in the pits right now. Jay Davis has crashed. Let's take a quick look, see what happened to Davis. He's got a meatball. Coming down through here into the bus stop in that nameless motorsports machine. Oh, lost it coming in there. Oh man, what a hard hit to that wall there in the middle of the bus stop. For that 317. Oh man, that was a hard slap to the driver's side of that machine. And now here we go, working through the corner. That wasn't on the full instant replay. And they worked on down here out of the corner. Down there across the bottom. Davis, as we saw, took a hard hit there in the bus stop. Donovan Hodge here out of Honeston. Really, really great to see this type of field here in the GT3s. If you're interested, be sure to check out the description here in the future to learn more about FMA, where you can go learn more information and see about how you can get involved. As I said before, they are an invite-only league. But we do have a link to their website, so you can go check them out. Justin Shoemate there in fourth. Brian Scott there fifth. Steven Zader back here in sixth. He got around Cotterman. Matt Mars having issues, as Mars took a header. I see him down here around the corner. Here's Matt Mars. And he lost it coming out of the boot. Jody Nielsen there up to 9th. And at number 56 in front of her is Jacob Wilson in the number 8. There's seeing them come down through there. There's Chase Matsko there behind them. As they roll up here to the bus stop after completing the S's. Mike Nelson out there in first. Jed Cotterman there second. Mike Zacher in third. Justin Shoemate there fourth. Brian Scott fifth. Steven Zader there in sixth. Jacob Cotterman there seventh. Here comes Jacob Wilson out here in eighth. Jody Nielsen there in 9th with Chase back here in 10th. Mark Nelson, and again, we are sorry that we didn't quite get started at the time we wanted to tonight. We had a few issues with our streaming software not wanting to connect and go live where we needed it to go live. Justin Shoemate back here in 4th. Brian Scott there 5th. Steven Zader back there in 6th. Chase has crashed. And try to figure out where he took a header at. Now we watch Jake Matsko here. Oh, he just pulls it to a stop. Jake Matsko might have had some technical issues and he just pulled it off there to the stop. We're showing Matsko out right now, and I'm not seeing him on track. Can't pick him up at all. I got Jay Davis back there. And 21st. Justin Shoemate up there in 4th. And come down here out of the corner, heading up here to the S's. Here we see someone working off the backside there, coming there out of the final corner. Here's some driver moving up through the S's, like Justin Shoemate and Mike Zacher. Shoemate looking to make a pass down here towards the bus stop. Going to dive in there side by side. I don't know if that's going to work, and they made it work. I see here out of Woodley, North Carolina. Justin Shoemate there, now up to 3rd if he can get around as they work down here into the boot. Shoemate did get the pass on him. So Zacher back to 4th as Shoemate brings it up into 3rd. Now you watch him come down here out of the corner, down through the front stretch, down here through, off of the bottom of the heel, down here around penultimate now for Brian Scott. Here for the Regal Wrapz and Design GT3 Road Series. Here on the pole, down there in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see there is a tip jar in case anybody wants to tip Flinger Farm TV. Now we try to put on the best show we can. Always looking to see what more we can do to bring a better show. Robert Howard back here 19th. He has crashed. He brought that Mustang around. He's had some struggles here and there on certain tracks, and other tracks done okay at. Yeah, we watch him here. He comes out of the boot. And he ends up in about the same spot as, oh man, who was it? I remember one other driver ending up there. Robert Howard crashing again. Hey, see, he's already got the nose messed up. Coming there through off of penultimate, and now he hits that corner. You're looking there at Mike Zacher as he's up there in fourth. Justin Shoemate there third. Jed Carterman out there in second, but Mark Nelson out front. Now you see they're starting to get spread out across the racetrack. We've got a bunch of dots up around that map. As they come down here, we're looking there at Mike Zacher as he comes down through penultimate. Down here to the final corner. Heading back across the stripe here at Watkins Glen here tonight. And this is the full Watkins Glen course. Not the Winston course, not the Indy course, but the full course here, which includes the bus stop and the boot. And I did some research and found interesting. The old Grand National cars that NASCAR ran back in the 80s, they ran here at Watkins Glen, but they did not run the bus stop, nor did they run the boot. So it was a straightaway back there. Now I believe they do run, NASCAR does run the boot, or not the boot, but run the bus stop. But NASCAR still keeps out of the boot. They leave that for other series. Now you see here comes Mike Zacher. He works his way down, trying to figure out where he's at. Brian Scott there in the 85 as they work out of the toe of the boot, coming up here to the heel. Before making that left-hand turn back out onto the race, back out onto what I would call the main racing surface. Making that left out of the top of the boot. And down here in the penultimate. Before going around that final corner, there you see Mike Zacher in that 46 trying to make it all hang out there. Oh no, we got one come together. Brian Scott up there into the top in that 85. And he got spun around. Now he's down here on pit road. That can either be a great strategy or it could be bad as he's first one in to take. Well, no, I scratch that. Ron Matthews came in for his pit stop. Ryan Peters came in for his. Brian Scott's coming in. As we said, Dan Brassington's coming in. Jacob Wilson out of South Boston, Virginia, out here running around in front of behind Jody Nielsen. Had it gooped up there for a moment. Down here toward the bus stop. Down through, looking great. Here, Jacob navigates it. Down here through the carousel, heading into the bottom of the boot. Or heading into the top of the boot, I should say, heading in. Pretty cool paint. And there we see the top of the boot coming on the exit, claim another victim. That's the 238 of Landon Stuckey. He'll act down here into penultimate. Ends up going wide, let Mark Nelson go around. And now Stuckey goes a lap down. Jody Nielsen there in a 7th. Working off the corner, heading back down through here. Mark Nelson, Jed Carterman out there in 2nd. Justin Shoemate there 3rd. You're looking there at Joseph Spillman. Spillman has made a pit stop. We got a few of them that have. Here we're at 23 minutes. Viewers, please let me know. I hope everybody can hear me okay. If anything needs adjusted, let me know. Matt Mars has crashed. We saw Stuckey crash, but now Matt Mars has done so again. He's taking it to the pits. Now where did he lose it? He works up here off of the boot. Oh man, lost it there. Lost the front end off of that machine. Back down through off of the corner. We're looking here to see what type of excitement we have. All right, here we go, off the corners. Mike Zacher in pit road. So some drivers taking their way into the pits now. Chase Matsko showing in the pits. 3 laps down. After, I'm guessing, a problem with possible internet. Now we see Matt Mars out of Louisville, Tennessee. Now you see Port St. Lucie for Jed Cotterman. He's currently sitting there in 6th. Donovan Hodge ended up off track. Now he has crashed. Around he went. Check with you on the pole. Instant replay. What happened here to Hodge? Coming there through the bus stop. Got a little bit crazy on the curbs, and it sends him around down there at the entrance of the carousel. I see Zader there. Now we got Mike Zacher there in 8th, Brian Scott in 9th. We got 3 drivers that have yet to pit, and I believe they're all in now. So the final ones for that are in. Hodge has to bring it into pit road and is there. He's got a meatball on that machine, so he's got to get some repairs fixed. Seen that a few times on some drivers. Mark Nelson back out there, back out front. You see that 86 way out there. Nobody really around him. He goes around here at Watkins Glen at 333 of Justin Shoemate, the next contender, with Jed Cotterman there behind him. Steven Zader back here in 4th. Brian Scott pit, Jacob Cotterman, as you're watching there, at 048. Duncan working his way off of pit road. Hodge still sits there with a meatball. Mark Nelson come down there through out of the toe of the boot, heading towards the hill. We're watching Jacob Cotterman as he works his way down into the top of the boot. Head around the tongue down there into the toe. Brian Scott there in the 85. Cotterman had a little bit of issue coming down there through the top of the boot. Now comes down there around the bottom. Up here to the hill. Nelson already off of the hill. And up around penultimate. Now we got a couple back on pit road. Donovan Hodge and Chase Matsko are sitting on pit road. I don't know if we'll see Matsko come back out to run any more laps or not. Might just help to make sure everything goes smoothly. Down here in the corner, number 1 they go. I'd say at 048. Comes down off, up there into the S. I see one blink out there. I'm not sure who that was. Ended up off track. It looks like it might have been Steven Zader. And at 69, and that's what it is. Zader having issues. He is now missing. Brian Scott up here in 4th. Zader with technical issues dropping through the field. Zader looks to be there in about 15th, showing as out at the moment. There we see Brian Scott as we're on board with him coming up here through the final turn. We're heading up here to the stripe. Look how close they get to that outside wall. Down here in the corner number 1. As they work here off the corner. 10 minutes left, or 15 minutes left here in the race. And they hit them back off here. Here they go. As you see there, you got Brian Scott there 4th, Jacob Carterman there 5th. Mike Zaker there 6th, Jacob Wilson there in 7th. Down here through off of the corner. Working down through the toe of the boot now goes the 85 there, Brian Scott. Works around the toe, back up through the bottom. And it looks like we got Zader, who's having issues, has a black flag. Zader is on pit road. Spillman's having issues. Spun around there. Coming there off of the top of the boot. Comes another one. Now we see a bunch of them coming around here. Zader, as we said, having issues. He's on pit road with the black flag. Trying to keep track of the. I don't have the number up. That would be helpful if I did. There you go. No, that's not helpful, is it? All right, I was hoping that number would ship to the other side. I worked down out of the corner. Stage driver making everything look the best they can. here as they all battle it out. 69 Zader back on pit road. Hopefully this time he can go and try to get that. I really like that paint job on Ryan Peters' machine, how it has those lines on it. Pretty cool looking. Not sure who did that paint scheme up, but that looks sharp. Mark Nelson out there in front of me. He has been all night. He worked his way through the bus stop. He has that Porsche figured out, as that is all he runs, so he knows that car inside and out. He works down around the carousel down into the top of the boot now. As he enters, and down here around the tongue and down towards the toe. Jed Carterman trying to chase down Shoemate. He's right there on the bumper. Less than 10 minutes to go. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the show here from on the pole at Flicker Farm TV. We see Carterman down there trying to get to the back bumper. Brian Scott there fourth. Jacob Carterman there fifth. Mark Nelson out there in front. Justin Shoemate there second. Jed Carterman there third. Brian Scott fourth. And Jacob Carterman fifth. That is your top five right now. Nelson, Shoemate, Carterman, Scott, Carterman. That's Jed Carterman as Jacob Carterman's back here in fifth. He works there off of the boot, out here through the top, now down here into the penultimate. He tries to gain position there on Brian Scott. Both of them driving McLarens. Got a nice field here tonight, a nice variety of cars. We got Audis. We got a couple Audis out there. Or Acuras, I mean. A couple Acuras. We got a couple Mercedes. McLarens. We got a Ferrari out there. That's driven by Landon Stuckey. That's Shoemate trying to do all he can to hang on to second here as top winds down. Mark Nelson there out front. Justin Shoemate there second. Jed Carterman third. Brian Scott fourth. Jacob Carterman there fifth. And continue on around here, down around the carousel, down here into the top of the boot, down around the tongue. As we head down there through into corner number, down there through the toe. Now we got the 5 going around there. Ryan Peters heading down into corner number 1. The 86, Mark Nelson coming down into the penultimate. On board there with Justin Shoemate as he comes here off of the boot. Heading down here towards penultimate. Landon Stuckey and Ryan Peters crashed. So not sure what happened there to Ryan Peters. We know Stuckey was struggling some places here and there. But apparently here so is Ryan Peters that he comes down. I thought he came through one okay. Just ended up off the curb and ends up, oh man, that's not how to take turn 1. That is a lesson there. Just something upset the car and away it went. They're back watching Justin Shoemate and Jed Carterman as Jed's there in a third, trying to chase down there for second. Brian Scott there in fourth, possibly has Jacob Carterman at his heels. They head out of the carousel down into the top of the boot. Stuckey still has a black flag, or Stuckey has a black flag, possibly too fast on pit road. Stuckey in that number 238 is back on pit road. So whether or not it was speeding up the road or something else, I'm not sure, but he definitely had a black flag. He had to come in to serve. Jacob Shoemate there in second with Jed Carterman there in third. Shoemate able to get through some areas of the track just a shade quicker than what it seems Carterman can. Jed out there in the Ford, Jacobs out there in the McLaren. Mike Zacher, Porsche. Couple Corvettes. Jacob Wilson out there in a Corvette back here in seventh. Working there off the corner, down here into the last one. Davis has passed Spillman for 14th position. As Spillman tries to stay out of the way for some of the leaders. Now we're back up there with Shoemate. Checking in on him. There you see Brassington. He's gaining there on the back end of the 911. Jamie Maudsley. Out here into the bus stop. 4 minutes to go, so 2 laps remaining for Mark Nelson. And he comes down there out of penultimate, down there around the final corner. Now you're watching there between, oh, hang on to it. Looks like Brassington might have lost it there for a quick moment. Justin Shoemate there in second, trying to hang on to it. Got Jed Carterman there behind him. And that's just what happened. If you go and get just a little bit of a mistake and a driver behind you can capitalize on it, it could be a problem the rest of the way to try to get around him. Now you see Jamie Maudsley coming there off of the, coming up here through the S's, or coming up out of the boot, sorry. Coming here to the penultimate. Hey, back there at 8. Mark Nelson up there still leading the way. And Nelson down there through the toe of the boot again. We might push for another lap, but we'll see. Now you're watching Maudsley and Brassington going at it. Keep a track of who's the closest out here on the speedway. Working here off. There goes that Marlboro. 911 of Jamie Maudsley. And look out, here he comes. Oh, nope, didn't quite get the move he needed. Looking to the inside now, coming down through the hill of the boot. Now we're back up here with Matt Mars. Mars is going to try to take position, which he does. And somebody's lap down. Maudsley did get around Brassington. Or no, I'm sorry. Brassington did not get around Maudsley yet. I'm going to have to scratch that, reverse it type of things. Up here into the bus stop they go. As they work through the S's. Shoemate still hanging on to second place. Jed Carterman's really hoping for a slight mistake out of 333. Now we're back here at Brassington once again. He's looking to the inside, coming down here into corner number 1. Can't quite get there, had to check up a little bit. Now they come here up through the S's now. Last lap here at, well, maybe. And then how quickly Nelson gets back around here, as Nelson works here off of the boot, coming down here to the penultimate. 30 seconds to go on the clock. So will he make it? One more lap to go. Coming here off the corner. White flag is out. We got one more lap. Justin Shoemake coming here across the line. Jed Carterman, Brian Scott, Jacob Carterman there fifth, Mike Zacher there sixth, Jacob Wilson coming here off the corner. He works up here out of the boot. Hey, Justin Shoemake, now we're looking back here at Matt Mars trying to gain a position. At 86, up Nelson comes down there into the top of the boot. Here we are coming here through the penultimate with Mosley and Brassington. They come underneath the flag stand. You see white flag in the air. Coming down here in corner number one. Mark Nelson as your leader. Jamie Mosley back here in the heat, trying to hang on to it, but he's got Brassington there. Coming up on a lap machine. Getting around the lap machine without much issue. Mark Nelson now coming here through the penultimate. Coming down here into the final corner. Brassington did get away. And now Brassington has crashed. Mosley has crashed. The 86 there taking a checkered flag. Not sure what happened to Mosley. He was racing hard there with Brassington. And I see him come through the bus stop. Oh, that's how Mosley got around him. He just took that bus stop too quick and destroyed the right rear of that car. And that's what I was talking about, just one little mistake. That's what Mosley was, or that's what Brassington was waiting on, was kind of a mistake like that. Mark Nelson out there and gets the win. Here tonight. Head on down through here. Great job by driver. Really clean tonight too, for the most part. Only a few drivers having issues.
I don't know whether to be mad, frustrated, happy, sad. I'm sweating my butt off. I don't know where he came from. I'd love to know and go back and see when he pit. I don't know. He was just there. I never meant to take tires in the pits. I don't know if that slowed me down or whatever the case, but I'm kind of glad I did, fighting him so hard. I had to back off a couple laps and let the tires cool down and then give it another run, but I was so much faster in a couple corners, but without taking him out, I had to get on the brakes, and I couldn't find a good place to pass. So he was fast when he needed to be, and blocked really really well when he needed to be, and it was just one of those things. Yeah, I mean, i- if I was dirty, I could have punted him countless times, but that's not me. I'll take third place, and I'm gonna go back and watch this, and I'm gonna laugh, and I'm gonna, figure out what I could have done a little different and learn from it. But I mean, these top three guys are a class act. I mean, you know, they the leader, he was always a tenth or 2/10 faster than me. I just let him go. I was, gonna catch him if he made a mistake, but he never did. And podium's a podium, but second's just a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, just it was kind of funny, in qualifying. I was like, yes, I took the pole. Ah, damn it, he beat me. It was a very, very premature celebration, but again, like I have such a fun time in this league, and kudos to my son Jacob, who finished top five with me. He's brand new to it, and he absolutely loves this, and it's kind of something we can do together. But he's I don't know what to say, man. I'm happy that we had such a clean battle. Um, I wish I wouldn't have. I don't know whether I got into the back of him or he checked up a little more than I thought. Why I spun, I don't know, but I don't think I would have had the car to to muscle him to the finish line anyway. But yeah, just a great night overall. Yeah, and I don't want to say that's what I was counting on, but when you got guys like that are just solid lap after lap after lap, it's almost what needs to happen. And like again, kudos to them, not taking anything away from them by any means. They made me earn it, and all I earned was a P3. Oh yeah, Mustang's my car. I mean, if I could choose a different car, I probably would have chose the BMW here, honestly. I'm just a tad quicker in it, but I love this Mustang. I've got so many hours and laps in it. Um, I own a Mustang personally, so I guess that's kind of where my love for Ford and the car comes from. But I absolutely love this car. I may not be, the fastest, but I'll make you earn it, and that's enough for me. It's all about just having fun. Just you and Mark and everybody that runs this league. Jacob and I really, really enjoy it. I'm glad you guys let us, come and hang out with us, or come and hang out with you guys. Just everybody in this league. I think it's a very, very clean and enjoyable league, and there's not a lot of those around anymore. So it's really nice. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, and I've missed a lot of races with work, unfortunately. So I'm not really in a points battle, but the competitor in me is not gonna just move over and let you have it. I'm gonna make you earn it, just like they did me tonight. So it's what goes around comes around, and I don't mean that in a negative way at all. It's just part of racing. Well, yeah, if I do, it'll be great. And I know they're gonna make me earn it. But if I don't, some of the greatest never even got a win or a championship. So it's, like I said, I'm more interested in having a place that Jacob and I can come and have fun and race each other, and that's more important to me, honestly, at the end of the day. Yeah, buddy. Hopefully, I can. Do you know where next week is by chance? I don't think I even own that track. I was hoping you were gonna say Interlagos or something. I absolutely love that track. So okay, all right. Well, we'll the Jacquesville News or whatever. Okay. Oh, I'm strong at Sebring. That's I live here in Florida. Jacob and I go to the 12-hour race at Sebring. That's kind of a home track, I guess. So I'll be up front at Sebring. All right, if I'm gonna win one, I guess that's the one to win. Thanks, buddy. Have a good night.
Hey, not too bad, Adam. By the way, the boys told me to let you know that they can't hear you on the stream. That is correct. Yeah, I don't tell you, man. That's a real bummer. Technology can certainly be that way, buddy. Oh yeah, it seems like I was really battling for every place I got this whole race. Getting in the third was a real tough battle with a Porsche, and I finally got around him. We pitted, and then it was right back into a battle with Jed. So it was a really good race all around. Yeah, I haven't even tried it before. Watkins Glen's one of my favorite tracks. So I think that kind of expired tonight, but I'll give it my best practice shot, and we'll see how it goes. I just want to shout out my fiance for all the support and letting me do this, and my channel ADHD Hobbies, and that's about it. Thank you so much. You have a great night.
Hey Adam. Correct. Do you want a few seconds to fix it? Oh well. All right. Well, You can hear me. They can hear me for if they really must. Yeah, I know. Audio issues always suck. But all right, well, let's talk about the race. I don't know, Adam. I just been spending a lot of time in this car, and I'm just getting more and more comfortable with it every single week. And I did this track in this car with this setup a few weeks ago, or maybe it was a month ago or something like that, and got good at it, and just decided to try to learn or to use what I had learned, and it worked out for me. I was honestly just trying to be kind of timid, and something happened kind of early in the race that kind of scared me and made me a little gun shy. So I was giving it about 90% the whole race, saving a little bit of fuel, just trying not to kill myself. Like don't don't ruin the race all by yourself. So yeah, just was trying to maintain a gap, and it worked out for me. It was a good clean race. I had a couple times where there was cars wrecked in front of me in a blind corner that scared the crap out of me, but otherwise it was good. Yeah, yeah. Or they bounce the. I think that there can be an advantage to both. If you use the same car, you learn the balance and what its limits are. But if you do different cars, then one car might be faster to track than another car, which I find to be a little bit lame. I think it's kind of lame to drive a car that you don't like just because it's the faster car. But it did bite me last week at Monza. I worked my absolute butt off that entire race just to be absolutely perfect in the road course because I was just getting killed on the oval part. There was just nothing I could do. So I would pull away on the road course, the hard part, and then I would lose it all on the fast part. And then I would gain it and lose it, and gain it and lose it, and gain it and lose it. And I was pretty worn out and flustered at the end of that race. So I wanted to come here and put myself in a position to be able to run for the lead again. Yeah, I did seem to pull away. That is true. I'll just thank my normal. Thanks for anyone that supports me watching these streams and supports you, and thanks to my wife for her support. Yeah, I don't think I can either. So let's just call it a night. Yep. 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 That's right. 3 more races. Thank you, Adam.